Ladies and gentlemen, this is Yanko Maceda, founder of Tabanero Cigars, and today is Sunday. Sunday, beginning of the week for the entrepreneurs, beginning of the week for the visionaries, beginning of the week for the ones that are hungry for success. Yes, we are in Tampa, Florida. We are a small brand. An idea that was born in 2006. We had some failure. In 2008, we took a break and we came back in 2010. We were really established 2010, December 15, 2010. We can say we were really established. I've seen companies, cigar companies, they use, which is fine, they use the grandpa or someone in the family talked about the idea or started the brand. And they said they were making cigar for many years. I don't want to use a number because I don't want to offend anybody. But they never talked about the big breaks, the big gaps of 10 years, 20 years. So I have to be honest. We've been really established non-stop to this point, even with pandemic, since December 15, 2010. So December 15, 2020, sorry, we are going to be 10-year-old brand made right here in Ybor City. Before we got into the pandemic, we were at 110,000 cigars. So that's why we still have the lecture of not having any cigar rollers, because we're still depleting our inventory. We're still depleting our inventory. We are capable to continue because I always believe in the future. I'm always ready in the future. I make decisions that affect my present, but I let go real quick and always planning. So many times my customers, my competition will say that I was crazy keeping that many cigars in inventory. And I said, well, I'm in the cigar business. I need to keep inventory. You don't never know when the dry season comes in and you need inventory and there's no cigar rollers. What are you going to do? So I always keep inventory. And today we send an email that the title said, a lonely road. Success is a lonely road. And it is. If you start a business, if you start something from an idea, just an idea, it's a lonely road. I'm not talking about someone that already inherits a business or someone that was fortunate to start with help. Someone in a different situation, God bless them. But when you start from zero, when you start just with your knowledge and your creativity, your imagination, success, to become success, it's a pretty lonely road, in many senses, When you are really small, really little, a speck, and people are not threatened by what you're doing, they don't pay too much attention. They say that probably you're not going to be as persistent, as consistent, that pretty soon when you bump into many walls, or the first wall, you will give up. So they don't pay attention too much of a small success right in the beginning. They start getting concerned when they see that you are serious about it. When you're already on your fifth year, and every year they see a change. They start getting concerned, and your journey, your road start getting lonely. Your friends know that you are obsessed with your goal, and they didn't even bother to call you and say, hey, you want to do this weekend? Because they know this weekend you're going to be grinding, you're going to be working on ideas. Everybody's relaxed during the weekend, so those are the 2 days for you to work on your ideas, for you to concentrate. So you have no time to cultivate good friendships. There's no time for that. you're working on your business, you're working on your, so it's almost impossible. That's why, and many other things I say, it's a lonely road. It's a pretty lonely road. For instance, when you get into this, you want to believe that because it's new blood in the industry, bigger companies going to approach and say, hey, I'm happy that you're into the industry. I'm happy that someone new is coming in. And they going to at least support you. I'm not talking about money or invest in you, because for someone to invest in you, you have to really prove that you are serious about what you're aiming, what you are trying to accomplish. But at least invite you to a meeting every once in a while, or trying to make you part of the industry. That is really difficult in here in Tampa. I don't know if I was the same place. I don't know if Dominican is the same situation. But in here in Tampa, it's really difficult for the industry, even as smallers with big ones, to come together. Sometimes I feel that everyone. I have done my branding. You can see it on the amount of reviews that we have on different platforms. You can see it on their product. And it happens some of the big companies, some of the big anchor of cigars in here in Tampa, they've been wanting to put my product in their store. And this is the same company that I've been asking, listen, I feel pretty lonely in this journey. You know, how can do something together? And they're pretty busy. They're not interesting. I totally understand. But now, because they're going into an adventure of doing cigar tours, manufacturing in front of the customers, because this is something totally new for them. Operation, I think we have plenty of time to talk about it, to do that, to get it done. And it never happened. That collaboration was never born. So that's why I say, and I will keep that mentality, that success, at least in this industry, is a pretty lonely road. It's a pretty lonely road. I have no problem with that. I will continue. We're making really good relations with factories in Nicaragua that we haven't even met. You know that we've been going to Nicaragua for a long time, but I always kept myself to a few factories, thinking that they were the ones who was going to work with me in the future. When the time came to work with these companies, they were not the right companies. I was in the assumptions that they were the right companies. And I realized that what they were showing me and trying for me to, they were the right people. When the point to do business came, the pricing, the service that I got for them, it made me feel that they really didn't want my business. So through branding of 10 years in here in Tampa, Florida, I have called someone else's attention. I have approached some other companies down in Nicaragua, and we're working on blends. You guys already we already tried something 2 weeks ago. It was a pretty dark cigars, Ecuadorian wrapper, pretty dark Ecuadorian wrapper. They're excellent cigars, excellent Big Daddy, Bocado. We are now in the process of working pricing. This is the second company that we are working with. And we have 3 types of Robustos and 3 types of Toros. We have Robusto Connecticut wrapper, Robusto Ecuadorian wrapper, and San Andres. San Andres, sun-grown, Connecticut. And the same thing with the Toros. Sun-grown and San Andres. I already had the Robustos. I already had the mild Robustos, and they are phenomenal. Phenomenal. And I will tell you why I believe they're phenomenal. Let's just grab one. Look at the cap. Look at the third cap. Look how firm the cigar is. There's no soft spot, and it's really firm. Really firm. Keep in mind that this cigar was made last Monday. This cigar has to age at least 40 days. 40, and in our case, we age 90 days. So if this cigar right now, you can taste that it has a lot of potential. Imagine what's going to happen in 40 days. So let's light up because, like I always say, we believe in the enjoyment of craftsmanship that allows you to stop time, reflect on life, and plan the future ahead. So let's do it. This Toro medium to full, it has sun-grown Ecuadorian wrapper, Ecuadorian binder, and the fillers are Jalapa, Condega, Colombia. And I think there's another Ligero in there. I didn't check my note before, but I think it's a Ligero from Esteli. So it's going to be a complex cigar, not really, really complex, but I will have some complexity because of Condega and Jalapa and also Colombia. Colombia is becoming pretty popular in the cigars at a small boutique scale. Major manufacturing, they're not using as much as Colombia yet. Perfect draw. That cigar is packed, well packed, and has a perfect draw. Usually when a cigar is so fresh like this, made of a week ago, usually the footer is going to be pretty humid. It's going to give you a hard time lighting up. And the first draw, you're going to believe there is a little bit tight. As soon as you pass the first half inch and you burn that area, it gets to a regular draw. So that's why when I try fresh cigars, I don't pay too much attention right at the footer. The only thing that I'm trying to spot in the footer if it's too bitter. It has some peppery from the Jalapa. Jalapa is a spice cigar. Perfect because you can taste that it's still a pretty young cigar. In the sense that the humidity hasn't really balanced yet. So I just imagine that peppery from Jalapa, when sometimes goes by, 30 days, 60 days, it was going to be a lot more pleasant than now. No bitterness right at the beginning. And look how dense that smoke is coming out. Look how the smoke is coming out back here. That's a sign of a perfect draw. The cigar is not completely lit yet. I'm not going to rush it. I'm not going to rush it. You have any idea how long it takes for a bamboo plant to grow? Because you can argue about that. It takes 5 years watering the soil to see a little plant. 5 years. Some people will call you crazy. Some people will say, how are you going to be watering the soil for 5 years and be so sure that eventually you're going to see a plant? The same thing they say about you when you start your business, that you're crazy, that you're nonsense, that your idea is not going to work. Look how long you've been doing it, 3 years, 4 years. You're driving yourself to puberty. And you got to be strong. You have to believe. You have to believe, because after those 5 years of watering the soil, after those 10 years of working on your passion, one day you see that green leaf, and in 45 days you will have a 90 feet bamboo plant. I have read in many books that you'll be in the grind for a long time, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, and one day success comes so rushing to you because you're being so consistent and believe that you ask yourself, why I didn't have a little bit of this success right in the beginning. And now is the time. Now is the Taba Brew time. All right, Karen has brought Taba Brew for me and you. I got it here. I want to show the crema. Thank you, Karen. Karen Lozano. Look at the crema on that cigar. I'm sorry, that coffee. It's amazing. Taba Brew. It's our brand. We are really proud of our brand. This is another bamboo tree that we were watering the soil for a long time. And once the plant came out, boy. Wow. I just put a little bit of raw sugar on my espresso, Cuban espresso, just a hint. Kind of like the jalapa papri on this cigar, that is just a hint that makes it so pleasant. Same thing with the coffee. Our coffee has such a thick body, the crema, the flavor, that if you put too much sugar, you will mess it up. Just a hint of sugar, and it makes a big difference. I sold, a friend of mine went into the website and asked me about this, the Taba Espresso, if we can use it for cold brew, and I said yes. Our cold brew here is really, we grind the same espresso. You grind the same espresso as a drip, coarse grinding, and we do our cold brew, and it's amazing. Now I'm going to clean my palate a little bit. Should we leave it and see, and you be witness if this is going to light up correctly? This is how old timers light up their cigars. They only light up one side and let it burn until it gets even. But because we always rushing things, we want to light up the whole cigar. We want that perfect ash. Let's do it old school. Let's leave it like that and see how long it will take to get even. And it takes time. It takes time to develop a palate, to know really your cigars. I understand when people jump from brand to brand, when they open their humidor and they have many brands in there. I understand. You want to try. Eventually, you will develop your palate to a point that you go, well, when I'm having Connecticut, I have this. When I'm having Sungro, I have this. I haven't met someone that when they open the refrigerator, they have 20 different beers. Usually they find the beer that they like, one or two. Eventually, after 20 years or 15 years of smoking, you will get to the point, you will find the brand that you will stick with it. In a rush, I got time. I'm 42 years old. I got time to water that bamboo plant. If it's gonna take 20 years for you to discover some of my cigars, they're gonna be your favorites. I'll be here waiting. Don't worry. You'll probably be desperate to go ahead and even that cigar. No, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait and see what happens. As you can see, the part that is not lit, I have it on top. So the heat is always touching that part. And this is a fresh cigar. If it wouldn't be such a fresh cigar, if we already had like 90 days, it will light up a lot faster. It will even up a lot faster. I learned a lonely tree has to grow a lot deeper roots to be able to stand winds and storms. And when trees in the forest are together, they have a lot more help to be able to go through a storm. I understand. I wish it would be the same way in this industry, that we were more together to be able to withstand the storm. But it's not. It's a lonely road. You got to be a big tree with really deep roots to stand the storms. Because believe me, you go and knock someone on your competition's doors or the big boys, and they not going to answer the door. Believe me. But I'm okay with that. I'm a fighter. I'm okay with that. There's no room in my mind to give up. Sometimes I reflect. I have met people in business that they not even have a close family. They don't have kids. They don't have a wife. And you can see that they're going through life in business pretty fast, pretty rapidly. They're so concentrating, aiming on their goal. But that's something that you have to choose. If you're going to go through business single with no things distract you, or even through the years you also want to leave a seed. You also want to be leave part of you on earth. So it's pretty hard to keep that balance between family and business. That little bit of time that probably you will spend to build relationship with your friend, you have to decide, do I build relationships or I spend time with the family? So that's why I continue saying that you have to make sure that if you go in this type of business or any business that you are really passionate about what you do, it's going to be a lonely road. Something funny happened this week. I learned right in the beginning that for SEO, for ranking purpose on your website, you should look for your competition and check for misspellings on their names. And if they didn't do their homework to buy those domains with misspellings, I will be attracting traffic to my website with their misspelling. And it's totally legal. It's not illegal. It's totally legal to buy a name. Even if you open your shop and you're thinking of starting your website later on and you don't secure your domain and someone comes in and buy your domain because they see that you did a beautiful job in the shop, that you are really passionate about it, that you have potential, and someone goes and spends $10 and buy your domain, you're probably going to have to pay that person for your domain at least $3,000 when you're ready to open your website. That also happens with misspellings. When you don't buy the misspellings of your site, someone else is going to buy. And every time someone makes a mistake, it's going to be redirected to someone else's website. Understand that this doesn't mean that you're taking customer for someone else, because company A hand you a card and it says Boy Cigars, and you are redirected to Tabanero Cigars, you're gonna realize that this is not Boy Cigars. You will stop right there and you will search again correctly for Boy Cigars. So it's not really taking a customer from the company, it's just creating traffic, because by mistake you hit my website, and by hitting my website it helped my ranking on the first page of Google. So something funny happened, that I have bought so many misspells 10 years ago, that someone that we're doing business right now, that I'm mentoring them how to go about it online. I received a text last night saying, "Hey Yanko, I see that you own our name with a misspelling." And I said, "Oh my God, I totally forgot that I owned that misspelling." But it's someone that I respect, someone that I admire, that I'm thinking of growing. We are growing our relationship in the cigar business. I can say they're the size of company that we are, and we're going to do things together. We're already doing things together. So I said, look, no problem. I was not going to stop there and explain everything that I just said. I just said, tomorrow on Monday, I will transfer the domain to you. You know, it's not, there's no questions about selling the domain or anything. I will transfer for free my misspelling domain with their names to their ownership, because that's the right thing to do with someone that you admire. With your competition, no. Your competition wants the misspelling domain. Get ready to pay $3,000, $5,000 for that misspelling. So I can agree that I had some issues asleep, because I felt, I don't know, I felt bad that they discovered that I totally forgot about it, and they discovered that I own one of the misspellings. But they're good people. They understand that I'm always looking into growing the online business, and anything that is legal to do, I'm going to do it to grow my website. It's getting there. It's getting there, but I have to be honest with you that if you leave it like that, it will get even, but you're missing a lot of the full bouquet, full flavor of a cigar right at the beginning, because it's not burning evenly. This is something that you do when you don't have too many matches, or you're somewhere there, you have to opt to do this. And eventually, when these cigars are well aged, they will light up a lot faster. But yet, I'm just doing it for you to see the construction of this cigar, how well it was done. For a cigar to do this and not start canoeing completely on this side and get burned even like that, which is getting pretty close, it has to be a really, really, really good cigar, well constructed. This is a medium to full sun-grown Toro, 52 by 6. And it's a cigar that I know for sure that when you light up, if you allow yourself to do it, of course, outdoor by yourself, it's going to allow you to enjoy the craftsmanship in the cigar. It will put you to think. If you concentrate, you will start picking up the different tones that we blend for you to discover those different tones in the cigar. See? They came in DHL. They had no cushioning or anything, just this box. They're pretty good about making cigars, but for samples, they're pretty simple. So they were not the best way to send the cigars, and it still has an amazing bouquet, amazing aroma. Papri, it's a papri cigar, sweet cigar. I have learned that Colombia, it's not going to affect as much a cigar. It's just going to balance the cigar. When you're putting strong leaf, when you're putting a strong esteli, when you're putting papri tobaccos, it's just going to balance the blend. Because we don't rush anything. We have built Tabanero since the beginning on retail. We take the time for aging. We believe that aging on a cigar makes a huge difference, a huge difference. The dream of a cigar enthusiast is to buy a cigar that is ready to smoke. That's everybody's talk. I wish we can buy more cigars that they're ready to smoke. Every time I hear something like, oh, the cigars are great, but you got to buy and put it on your humidor for at least a month. Wow. You imagine going to a restaurant and they bring the food and say, well, you got to wait at least 20 minutes so it really tastes good. Pretty good. A customer came this week and he bought 4 boxes to send to another shop. He said he wanted our product to be on his friend's shop. He spent $600. He sent the cigar for free, so his friend who owns a store try retailing our product over there. That was really kind of him. That was really kind of him. We bump into a lot of customers like that. They respect, they see the potential in our brand, and that is a that is a good example. The people buy your story. People buy the story behind the product. Someone gives you a product and you are pleased with the product, with the quality, you really like the product. The next thing you do is try to find out who the company is, who's the person behind it, because people buy a story. People fall in love with your story. I see a lot of cigar entrepreneurs that they get so concentrated on how the cigar is made and what blend they put in, and they try to explain as much as they can how sophisticated, in a sophisticated way, that a lot of customers, they get lost because they talk to in a language that is not for average cigar smokers. So I believe that people at the end or at the beginning, what they're buying is a story behind a brand. Completely even out. As you can see, I didn't relight or anything.
Oh, the seven.
I realize I'm driving.
Yeah.
Parking.
Well, if you're only coming for dinner or something, but all day, the parking garage right here.
Okay, right over there.
Just come down this street
It's hard for me to explain, but in the smoke that is going through my nose, I can smell that it's still, the humidity is not being well balanced, that it needs more aging. Oh, my windows.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your afternoon. You too. Thank you. Have a good day.
We had the first third. There has been no bitterness. You can taste all the tobaccos right there. You don't need to wait to the middle or anything. You can taste Jalapa, you can taste Condega. And again, Colombia is not something that you can spot. Colombia is just to balance the blend. So I heard there's not going to be a cigar festival this year. It's going to be moved to March. There's not going to be no cigar festival in Ybor City. It's going to be moved to March. The J.C. Newman Arturo Fuente Festival. I wish, and I said openly, I wish they will, during that festival, they will appreciate more the soldiers that they trying to keep the heritage alive. The soldiers that they're really passionate about it. That for us at this point is not numbers. It's just to do a cigar that the customer comes to the door, try, and go, wow. I wish during that festival, and if someone wants to share with them, please. There's only 4 of us here, 4 of us in Ybor City, making cigars. I wish during that festival they would put an area for 4 of us to be making cigars elbow to elbow in 2-3 spaces, and free or charge for the little guys of Ybor. It's the Cigar Heritage Festival of Ybor, and we are charged $500 for a space. I don't really get it. I always say it, probably I'm contradicting myself, because I say I don't like free stuff, and it's not going to be free stuff, because if they put us a quota of how many cigars we have to give away to customers to come buy, 50 cigars, whatever, we would do it. But for us to set up, to put everything together, to bring the manpower of putting everything together, it takes money. And $500 for a space, it makes no sense to go out there. So I wish the Cigar Heritage Festival would take more in consideration what is the festival all about. If it's about the heritage of Ybor, heritage of Tampa cigars, why you don't make more efforts to bring the little guy? All you do is hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, we're running out of space. And when we acquire space, they put us somewhere that nobody knows who we are, or they not even walk by. So I wish they should do some reflection on that. That's how do I feel now that I'm 42 years old. Probably when I'm 50 or 60, I say, well, I made a mistake saying that, but that's how do I feel now. There's always favoritism to who's going to go or where they're going to place you. If it's really about Ybor, please make us, motivate us, the 4 of us, to be in there. Make it close, make a banner that says Ybor Brands, Ybor Manufacturing, if it's really a Ybor Cigar Heritage or a Tampa Cigar Heritage. And we still got time. It's going to be in March. I want to share with you guys my last toy. I'm going to bring the toy. Because I believe that business, you have to keep it as a game, like if you in your sandbox playing. So this is my new toy. I haven't decided if it's going to be gas or electrical. It comes with a surprise. A 10-count Robusta box. I have learned that when I do things, I don't have to really work too much on adding more value of purpose. Or the truck is going to do this, it's not going to do anything. It's going to be a truck that will remind you of your childhood. We're going to paint it, make it look nice, put some, put some logos, and it's going to come with a 10-count Robusta box. It's going to be something limited because it takes a lot to put it together. We will sell, I don't know, 10 a year, because we will only make 10 a year. So it'll be something limited. We even can put numbers on the truck so you know you have truck number 20. So we're working on it. You know, make some comments. Tell me if you want just radio or you want satellite radio or I don't know, iTunes. Let me know.
I think solar panels on the roof.
Oh, solar panels. Steve saying solar panels. So I'm really enjoying the journey. I'm really enjoying the journey. It's kind of stressful because you're doing something totally new. I don't know if it's when you're in business, you're a control freak or you to sleep good at night, you want everything that you feel under control. All this new venture of manufacturing in Nicaragua, you don't have nothing on your control, nothing. You should have to rely on your faith and the relation that you have built. So, because it's totally new for me, I'm a little bit stressed. I find myself that I'm having a hard time coping with my kids. I feel sometimes bad for them because I don't do anything against them. It's just in my mind sometimes my 4-year-old and my 6-year-old boy. I'm concerned about my older one, 18 years old. This is totally new for him, going to college with a pandemic. There's no friends. There's no let's go do the homework together. And I know that's affecting my older son. So there's a lot. It's a family that I have to take care, that I have to be part of it, and this is totally new for me. So my sleep is not light. My sleep is not as deep as it used to be. I'm sleeping pretty light. Even the dog moves in the patio and I wake up. I guess that is part of building mentally muscle. When I achieve to get this under control, I will become a newer person, a different person, and that's growing in business. Not really the result of your achievement, really the person that you become every time you achieve. That's the beauty about business. I share with my son that has worked for me to live in the future, always thinking in the future. If I concentrate too much on what's going on right now, I will go crazy. My mind, it will be so concerned about everything that is happening right now. So I try to visualize, I try to dream what's going to happen next. And I'll stay like that, I think, for the rest of my life. I'm planning to live at least 130 years. We'll see if technology is going forward. I can hit 150, but
That means I'll have to be here till 1:50.
and please, I'm not gonna forget third Thursday. We're doing a third Thursday. You have no idea, third Thursday event, how much effort we got to put into it. Not as much physically, mentally. Why mentally? The streets are empty. And here we are putting an event to show appreciation to our customers, not even know if they're gonna show. Last one, it was a success. I know, but well, last one was a success. I don't know if because of my birthday. We'll see. We'll see this one. There's nobody's birthday. Well, we got some birthdays. How successful? But at least we break the routine. We do something different, and hopefully we get to try cigars. We get to try cigars, different cigars. How's your cigar, Willie?
It is excellent. Draw is excellent. Burn is perfect. Full flavor right from the start. It's very even. There's that little spice you talked about. Very smooth. A lot of flavor.
Awesome. This is some of the perks of being part of the Tabanero family. Come this way. Come this way. This way. No. Come this way.
Beautiful.
Beautiful cigar, well constructed, no soft spots. It's a cigar that someone that doesn't know much about the industry, he will grab it on his hand because of the weight and how hard it is. He would think that it doesn't have a good draw. I see customers going to the display, getting the cigars and squishing, looking for the spongy cigars. There's no spongy cigars in here. I tell, let it go, don't squeeze it. We have a drop master. Oh, no, because you know, Ybor City is known for really tight cigars. That's Ybor City, but not here. So don't squeeze it. In here, we make sure that everything we manufacture is run through a drum master, and when we talk to companies down there, that's a key question. Do you have a drum master? Yes, we do. Do you test 1, 2, 3 molds per roller, or you test at least 45 days, 40 days before you add a label and a cellophane? So that's something else that it really concerns me. How long are you gonna age? Because since we agreed to pricing and we placed the order, it's gonna be 60 days for those cigars to be here. I'm okay with it because I will have cigars that are ready to smoke. You do some retro hell of this cigar and you you can feel that it's a well-balanced cigar, because while you're smoking the cigar, that is not really aggressive on your palate. It's kind of like what Cuban cigars used to be. That you will enjoy a Cuban cigar and it will give you a sense that it was a mild, medium, but every time you retro hell, you go, wow, this is not mild. I have to accept that I have a really sensitive palate, a really wimpy palate. I'm not a guy of full body cigars. I'm medium. The max will be medium to full. I'm not too much into spice, peppery. I like it to a point that is enjoyable. We have a good friend here, Keith, from Tampa Doors, that he's a big boy, and he likes 60 gauges, full body cigars, and he's my gauge when it comes to those big cigars. He's my gauge because you're not gonna ask that 120-pound guy how is a 60 cigar, you know, how it tastes. You gotta ask to someone that is used to smoking those type of cigars. And many times I have cigars that he offered me, or cigar from my shop, that I can spot that they're well aged, well balanced, but they're too spicy for me. The taste stays lingering in my mouth for too long, and when he tried, he goes, wow. So I learned that not everybody has my palate. This is a personal preference. I just can't be making cigars that I only like. There are some cigars that they're complex, but my type, my customers will appreciate that complexity. So you have to open your mind that it's not always going to be your taste. You have to do things differently. It's no secret that right now everything that is manufactured in Dominican Republic they're going to be using a lot of Dominican Republic, because Nicaraguan tobacco, to get to Dominican Republic, it's expensive, and most of the good Nicaraguan tobacco stays in Nicaragua. So if someone is going to start manufacturing in Dominican Republic, they need to keep that in consideration, that everybody's asking right now for Nicaraguan tobaccos, and you're going to start manufacturing in Dominican Republic. That's something that I met peoples in this industry that they started in Nicaragua. I saw them a year later, and I said, how's it going with the blend in Nicaragua? No, we switched. We now manufacturing in the Dominican Republic. That's a big mistake. Oh boy. You did some retro hair already on that, Willie?
Beautiful.
And this is medium. No, I'm sorry. Medium to full. Medium to full. I would like to try next, because I should start it with Connecticut, and then Sungrown, and then San Andres. But I don't think we have time. So the next one that I'm going to do is the San Andres. Sun-grown, and the next one will be San Andres. This cigar, the well is packed. The way it's burning is going to be an hour 20. An hour 20, and for slow smokers like me, probably an hour and a half. So, an hour and a half, and there will be between $14 to $16. I think it's worth it because we're gonna age them. When they get here and they already got 40 days, I will finish my cycle of 90. We do everything 90. 90 is a point on a cigar. It achieves a point in a cigar that changes completely. Some of my colleagues says that over 90, 6 months, a year, they lose some of the flavors, the strength. I understand that, but I want to hit 90. That's what I have in plan. Let's see when the cigars arrive here, if we still have cigars in our humidor, because you got to work with what you have. Probably when the cigars are here 40 days, we have no cigars in the humidor. So. All right. All right, guys, we're going to try to keep her an hour every Sunday. I even been advised to do it smaller, to do 30 minutes, because an hour for our beginnings of streaming, it's a long time. So we probably next Sunday do 30 minutes. I will prepare everything and just do a 30 minutes. Until we have enough contents to share and spend an hour. I can do as one. I am enjoying what I'm doing. I'm sharing with you guys where we are, where we've been, and what's going to be the future. We feel pretty comfortable that our next venture, it should be in Texas. For some reason, I keep getting signs that the next city that we have to put a Tabanero brand is Texas. Many customers are sharing, many customers are saying it, so we'll see where in Texas. I'm not saying if we do it. I know we're going to do it. We just have to figure out where in Texas. A historic area, a historic district. We would like to have our brand in a historic district. We're not a lounge. We're not really a cigar shop. We are a lifestyle brand. So when you go to the store in Texas, you will have all our brands, or cigar brands, and you also will have the chocolate that we're working on, the coffee, of course, that we're working on, and some of the apparels that we're working on too. And I think it will be better to have the same concept that we have in here in Ybor City. We are a brand, a really passionate brand, that it will succeed better in a historic district. So if you have any ideas, please put it in the comments. Guys, I always say, we believe in the enjoyment of craftsmanship. That somehow, when you cut, light up, you're able to stop time. When you stop time, when you're more aware of your surrounding, your mind, if you're not watching your phone, your mind starts going freely. It's on leash, and you start reflecting about everything that is going on around your life. When you start reflecting, it's inevitable that you're going to start thinking on the future. So the enjoyment of craftsmanship that allows you to stop time, reflect on life, and plan the future ahead. Guys, thank you very much, and I will see you next Sunday again.